Hello, hello, everyone. May peace and blessings be with you. My intention for today's training is to show you once you have your lead magnet funnel done, your opt-in funnel done. In the previous training, we covered how to create that funnel, how to connect a lead magnet, a free resource that you want to give away. The example I gave was a PDF one, and you basically programmed a button on the second page of the funnel where people could download that after they have provided their email and their name to you. Today, we're going to cover that even though you have given them what you had promised them, what makes for an even better end user experience is if you are also in their inbox, sending them the same resource via email also. That way, if for some reason they forgot to download it and save it on their computer, now they're looking for it later on and they can't find it. So they can go to their inbox in their email and they can search for your name or search for your business name and they will find that resource. So that is why we really want to set this up also. Another benefit of this is if for some reason you send them an email and your email ends up in spam, you are basically letting them know, even on the thank you page, always try to like add a message there to say a copy of this is also on its way to your inbox. If you don't see it, please check your spam folder or your junk folder or something like that. That way they are marking your email as not spam, and hopefully afterwards your emails will deliver to their inbox better and they're not getting lost in spam. So there are lots of benefits of doing that. And then one other thing I really like is that after you have sent them the first email, you've kind of broken the ice and you can now be in their inbox. You can be delivering them a message or something from you once a week, which basically starts that nurture sequence where you're really delivering value, helping them out, really understanding their pain points, really speaking to them. And then eventually, if you want to make an offer for a paid program or something like that, or a paid service, you totally can do that. And you don't feel awkward that, first time I'm in their inbox and I'm really asking them to spend money with me. You're really not doing that, right? You're over time, gradually, you are nurturing, providing value, and then it's totally okay for you to ask for the sale, totally okay for you to ask for them to invest money with you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and I am going to go through all the steps. So I'm logged into OneTech. I am inside the site section on the left. And the first option here is funnels, as we were looking at a whole bunch of funnels last time. So this is where we had built our last funnel. If I go to recents, we'll be able to kind of tell which one we built. I think we built either the SOT journal or the test funnel. I do so many trainings. I am losing track of which one I did here last time. But basically it's one of these two funnels that we use for setting up the funnel for delivering a lead magnet, a free resource. Okay, so this time we're going to go under automations. That's where we're going to start the process of creating that automation. And the job of this automation is going to be basically, I like doing three things in that automation. And I'm going to walk you through what that's going to be. I'm going to click on create workflow in the top right corner. We're going to create a brand new workflow from scratch. We're not going to use a recipe for this one. We'll just create one from scratch because I want you to learn all the steps of how to do it and just know that it's not that daunting. It's like, once you see it, once you do it a couple of times, you're like, I got the hang of it. And I see myself doing this as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is at the top, I'm going to change the name of it. I'm just highlighting the text here. I'm going to say, I always kind of want to use the word test here. So I'm going to say test SOT journal delivery automation, right? So that's the one we want to build. Okay, so first thing is a trigger. How do you want to trigger this workflow? I want this workflow to be triggered when someone submits that form that we added to that funnel, to the landing page of the funnel. Once they complete that form, that is when I want this automation to kick off. So for that, I'm going to just search for the word form, and it's going to give me a few options here. The one I'm looking for is that form submitted. How do I know that? I know this because I have been working with OneTech quite a bit. And there are a few other options. If you look here, there's a Facebook lead form. That's not the one I want. TikTok one, that's not the one I want. LinkedIn, no, it's not in order. So it's not this one. So just by the process of elimination, I'm able to tell that form submitted is the right one. So I'm going to pick that one as a trigger. I immediately want to add a filter to this because if I don't pick anything in a filter, if I just say form submitted, then it's going to trigger when any form at all in my entire account is submitted. this workflow is going to trigger. That's not my intention. I really want it to be focused on that specific form. Once that is filled out, that is when I want this workflow to trigger. So for that, I'm going to click on add filters and click on select. And down here, I'm going to select form is, and I'm going to pick the name of the form, journal download. Let's just say it was this one. I forget which one it was, but we're going to assume it was this one, journal download. Okay, so if that's the one, let me see if there's one that says test, the word test with it. Yeah, I think it was the journal one. I'm surprised I didn't add the word test before that, but that's fine. Okay, so journal download is the one. Once this kicks off, that is how I am going to. Once that's submitted, that's how I want this workflow to start. I'm going to click on save trigger in the bottom right corner. Okay, what I like doing is after I've created the trigger, I want to click on it again. I want to add a little description over here in the name of the trigger itself, so that just by looking at it, I can tell which form this is going to work off of, so that I don't have to click on every step later on if I'm ever going back in this automation and looking at it to see what is this automation doing. Or if someone else on my team looks at this automation, they don't have to click on every step to really figure out what it is, right? So it's just a really good practice to leave a little bit of like an audit trail for yourself or a little bit of a guide for yourself if you ever want to come back to this and look at it again. I come from an audit background, so I feel like stuff like this comes very naturally to me. So if this seems daunting to you, just skip this step if you want. But what I like doing here is I'm going to say form submitted and it's going to be journal download, right? So if the form that's submitted is a journal download, that's when this is going to trigger. So now it looks a little bit better, right? Just by looking at this, I can tell what this is doing, what the trigger is. Okay, so next step is what I was saying. I like including 3 steps in my workflows that are delivering any free resource. The first one is I want to tag this contact because I want to be able to tell later on when I'm looking at my list of contacts, who are the people who requested this free resource. I think it was the SOT journal. Who requested the SOT journal? I want to be able to tell just by looking at my list. So to do that, I'm going to tag this person. That's how it's going to segment my list. Okay, so here I'm going to search for tag and I'm going to select add contact tag. And what this is going to do is I'm going to say test journal SOT, something like that. SOT journal. You can call it whatever you want. So I'm searching for this since this tag does not yet exist because I've never created this before. This is the first time I'm creating this tag. So I have to click on add new tag and I just have to do this one time. And all leads coming in through this form now going forward will be tagged with this tag in my contact list. Okay. Are you with me so far? Give me a thumbs up if you are with me so far. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing after I've tagged. I'm going to just come back in here and I'm going to change the name of the tag and I'm going to say, not change the name, add little description to the tag. That way I can tell which one this is. So I'm going to say test journal SOT. It's not doing anything. All it's doing is it's basically adding a little bit to the name here. So just by looking at the automation, I can tell what this tag is. What's the tag that is getting added? That's getting added to this contact. Okay, next one is going to be, I'm going to click on the plus sign again. The next step I like including in the automations is notifying myself that somebody picked up this free resource, because that is helpful to me. Because if I want to reach out to the person or if I have something else in mind related to that free resource that may help this person, it helps me to be notified that so-and-so picked up this free resource, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do an internal notification. So when we're doing this, we're not sending an email. We're not calling it an email. We're calling it an internal notification. So I'm going to just search for the word internal and I'm going to click on this send internal notification. So in here, there are all different types of notifications that you can do. You can do an email, you can do an SMS, or you could just do a notification. Notification by itself is in the app itself. When you're logged into OneTech, it is going to just send you a notification as a little bell in the top right corner of the platform itself when you're on the home page. So that's what this means. I'm not going to do that. I could do an SMS or I could just do an email. I a lot of times like doing an email. Okay, so I'm going to select that. The from name here, I just say OneTech notifications, something like that. OneTech notification. So what this tells me is that there's no real action that I need to take. And this is just a notification that's coming through the system. And that's it, right? I don't really necessarily need to do anything because I get so many emails from myself and from the system that this is just my way of, just keeping an eye on it, but don't necessarily have any follow-up task or anything unless I want to, right? So I just call it that so that I can just differentiate it from the other emails. From email is going to be my email, Timmy at Simplify One Thing. User type is going to be, I'm going to say particular user, not assigned user. I could also do a custom email, but I'm just going to select particular user. It's going to now give me a list of all of the people who are set up as users in my account. Users are my team members. Again, users are not your leads coming in. Users are just your team members who have access to your account, who are helping you with building automations or managing your business and stuff like that. So that is really your staff, your VAs, and anybody else who might be helping you with your account. And so for me, I'm going to just select myself. If I also want to select one of my team leads, Ralph Talavera, I could just select him also. So what this is going to do is when someone submits a form, it's going to send him a notification also to let him know so-and-so has picked up this free resource. So that's the intention of this. Okay, so in the subject line, we are going to click on this little tag over here. What I want to do here is I'm going to select contact and I'm going to say full name. So in the subject line of this email that I'm going to get for myself just to notify me, it's going to say so-and-so full name, right? So it's going to say, let's say Timmy Mirza has just received, doesn't matter, requested your SOT journal, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing in the body of the message too. I don't really have to, but I like doing that because I don't really like leaving the body of any emails blank. So I'm going to say full name and I'm going to say has requested your SOT journal, celebrate connecting with one more person. Yay, right? I just like leaving myself like motivating messages too. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to click on save action in the bottom right corner and that's it. So internal notification, you can again click on it to say what's the name of it. I'm going to say email to Timmy and hit save action again, and that's it. Okay, so last one. This is really the step that is super duper useful. This is really why we're setting up the entire automation because we want to deliver the lead magnet, the free resource to the person who requested it. So this is really the main reason for doing this, which is our step 3 in the automation. Okay, so here I'm going to say email. So this time we want to do send email. And from name this time, I like saying Timmy from Simplify One Thing. You can say whatever you feel is best for your business. It could be your name, it could be your business name, however you want the emails to go out and show up in people's inboxes. That is the name you want to use over here. From email, I pretty much do either Timmy or our team mailbox. Either one is fine. I'm going to just do Timmy over here. Okay, for the subject line over here, I'm going to say, again, I'm going to select this little tag and under contacts, please note this is contact and not users. The reason why we do not want to select users is because contacts are the people who are requesting, who are your leads, who are your contacts coming into your CRM. Users is your team members, your staff, your VAs, and anybody else who's helping you with your account. So please, for this one, do not make this mistake. So many people make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Contact is the one you want to select. So you're going to select contact. And from here, you're going to just say first name. We don't need to necessarily do their last name over here also, because that would be weird. You're addressing them in the subject line with their full name. That may not come across so nicely. So we'll say, I'm going to say, hi, let's say, hi, Timmy. Here is the journal you requested. All right, that's it, right? So in the body of this message, I can just do like a text-based message right here and include the downloadable link for the resource right here. That would be totally fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create an email template because we're going to jazz up this email because it's the first time they're hearing from us. And it is a great idea to make your email look very branded and professional and all that. So I'm going to show you how to create an email template and how to update it for your branding and use that for your emails and really make a very nice first professional impression on them. Okay, so we're going to add a template and create a template, and then we'll come back to this automation to add that template to this automation. So let's just save this action step for now. And in the top right corner, we're going to just save this. Please note, this automation is still in draft. It's not been published yet, so nothing's going to happen. This is not going to kick off until we publish it. So we are going to circle back on this. So let's just go to, I'm going to click on back to workflows, and we are going to this time go to marketing on the left, and we're going to create a new email template that we are going to use for our emails. Okay, so I'm under the marketing section, and over here, I'm going to select on emails, and I'm going to select templates from here, from the drop down. Okay, so while I am here, I'm going to click on templates. Here we go. I could click on templates from here or down here. I could just do the same thing. You have the option to create folders and all that too. I'm going to skip that for now. I usually create the emails first. Later on, then I move the emails or templates to folders once I know how I'm going to organize it. I don't know. My brain kind of works a little bit backwards sometimes. Ask my husband, poor thing. He knows how it functions. Okay, so over here, we are going to click on new in the top right corner, and we are going to click on email marketing templates and take a look at all the different template options that you have available over here. There's gorgeous templates already built for you, ready to go. There's so many different ones here to browse through and choose from. I am usually very drawn to the simple ones that have white background and like a simplistic looking look. That's just my style, I think. I do like a pop of color, but I just bring the color with adding like a header and a footer or something, and making the buttons colorful and all that. But for the most part, like I like my email background to be pretty light colored. Okay, so I'm just browsing. I kind of like this first one, which says simple. That's so cute. Like it already says simple. I think that would be my choice. So I'm going to click on this little eye over here as I'm hovering my mouse over it, because I want to just preview it real quick to see if this is good, if this will work. Yeah, fantastic. Look, there is a GIF in here, maybe a couple of GIFs in here that are being used. You can use a GIF, you can use an image, you can use a video, whatever you want. We'll go over all that in just a bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. Very simplistic, but beautiful. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to click on continue in the top right corner. Now what this is doing is it's installing this template into my account. So I am able to edit this template after that. Once it's done, it takes about a minute. It's going to place me inside the email builder, and then I'll be able to start editing this email, not video. Okay, so first things first, at the very, very top, it has a logo placeholder. I'm going to add our logo to it. So I'm going to just click on this element over here, and on the left-hand side, now I see where this image is being used. I'm just going to replace that. I'm going to click on the little pencil over here, and I'm going to select upload from media library. I'm going to go in here. We have a folder already, which is called logo, which has all of our different logos in here, and I can select the right one and I can use that. So we have all different kinds of logos in here. I'm going to just use our main business one over here. If you were promoting a specific program or something like that, or you wanted to use a different one, you totally could for certain emails to keep them very branded related to that program or something if you like. Okay, so I am going to double click on this. And what that's going to do is it's going to add this logo right here. It has made it pretty big. If I don't want it that big, I could also just click in the bottom right corner of the image of the logo, and I could just slide it in a little bit by clicking and holding onto the corner. The icon, the arrow changes in the bottom right corner, and I'm able to then adjust the size of it from here. Okay, so just like that, it is done. So over here, instead of this image, if I wanted to include, let's say, the image of the journal or something instead of this GIF. So this one is a GIF. If I scroll all the way to the right over here, like I see it ends with .gif. That's how I know it's a GIF, and it's an animated object, right? So you can totally embed GIFs in here too. If you want to learn how to create GIFs from scratch for your stuff, I have done a training on that, and it's posted on my YouTube channel. If you want to take a look at that, you totally can learn how to do that, because I think those are pretty fun to include in your emails also. And especially like creating your own, not just using like the canned ones. You're just, creating your own. I think that also really lets your personality show through in your emails. So you can definitely check that out. Okay, so for now, I am going to include the image of the journal in here because that is what I want to highlight, but I may not do that at the very, very top. I might do that below this section over here, right above this call to action button, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to see if I can, would it let me? I'm just going to delete this section for now real quick. And right here, I'm going to add right below this text over here. We'll edit this text in just a bit, but I'm going to click on the little plus sign over here and I'm going to include this image block and I'm going to just drop it right here. I'm just dragging and dropping, right? So to this image, I am going to now upload my image for my journal. And I think I put that under my test folder. So what I did was I had uploaded this image of my journal from Canva. So I downloaded it as a PNG and uploaded it into my media library, and now it's available over here. So all I have to do is just double click on it and it'll insert that in here, just like that. And if it's too big and I didn't want to show it this big, I could also adjust the size of it. I could also adjust the size of it in the right here also in the on the left under the properties. As long as I have this selected, I could do it from there also. And when I do that, I just want to share a quick tip. Whenever you are trying to adjust the height or the width, please adjust one of them and then leave the other one alone because you don't want to try to squeeze it in by adjusting both the width and the height, because then sometimes it distorts the image. And that's not just specific to this OneTech platform. It's across the board. Any platform you're using, if you're ever having to adjust the size of the image, only just one dimension of it, either the width or the height, whatever you want to get exactly right, and then let the other one auto calculate. Because what that does is it then retains the resolution and it does not distort the image. Otherwise, if you try to squeeze it, it's going to either like, make it distorted, like too small or too strangely stretched, which doesn't look good at all. Okay, so right here, there's a blank space over here. I don't really need that, so I'm gonna just delete that also. And right here, I am going to include the first name over here also of the person who's requested this. So I'm gonna put my cursor right here at the beginning, and I'm going to click on this little button in the top right of the menu bar over here. It says custom values. That's exactly what I want. And I want to pick up contacts first name. I'm going to say contact first name, wherever they are, right? So I'm going to say, hi, Timmy. Something like that, right? So you're writing a beautiful customized message. You are including this, and now you want to change the call to action. You're going to just say download. I'm going to change this over here. So whenever I'm clicking on an element, it's going to show the properties of that element on the left. So all I'm going to do is button text. I'm going to just highlight that. I'm going to say download, and I'm going to change the color of this to a turquoise. I don't really like that one. Blue. That kind of looks nice. How does gold look? Gold looks nice. All right, we'll go with that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Download. And I don't really need this section, so I'm going to delete this section. If you have a second call to action or something like that, if you want them to join your Facebook group or something like that, or your community, wherever that might be, you can also invite them to do that here, and you would utilize this section for that. So let's just do that. I'm going to just say over here, I'm going to say join my community. And same thing, I'm going to click on here and I'm going to select this color. Where these colors are coming from are from my brand kit. So I uploaded my brand colors in here already. So that's why they are available. Once you have your account, you'll be loading your brand kits just like you do with Canva. Very similar to that. You're able to do the same thing with OneTech. This really helps make things go so much faster that you don't have to remember the hex codes or anything like that, and everything is staying on brand and all of that, right? So I'm going to do that. And over here, I could either do a picture of what my Facebook group looks like or something, or if I didn't want to do that, I could just delete it, or I could just do a video message right here also. I could just embed a little video message. Let's actually just do that. I'm going to delete this section and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on the plus sign over here, and I am going to this time select a video. And I'm going to just drag and drop over here. And over here, I have all different kinds of options. I can do a YouTube video. I personally don't like doing a YouTube video because that video would typically take you away from the email to somewhere to YouTube, and then there you might get distracted with ads and other things that you see. So a lot of times, like I would do the HTML5 and I would just load the video into OneTech and pick it up from here. So I'm going to just come in here, not click on here. Sorry. I am going to where it says thumbnail storage. We're going to grab the video URL. And to do that, I am going to, we do have to go back to the media library to be able to grab it. So let me see. I wish there was a button right here to let us do that, but there isn't. It's all right. So it's good practice. We're going to learn how to navigate back and forth in the system. So I'm going to click on the back button over here. I've hit the save template button. That way it'll save my template, all of the changes I've made so far. Okay, so I'm going to go to media storage and I am going to go to my videos folder. And let's just say I had a video where we did like an edited video of some sort. I'm going to say this is just, we're just pretending. So I want to do a short video of some sort. Okay, let's just take this one. So let's say this is the video I want to include as part of my message. So I'm clicking on the three dots over here and clicking on get link. So now I have copied the link of this video and I'm going to go back to my marketing section, go back to my email templates, and I am going to find the email template that I'm working on. The easiest way to find it is by clicking on this little clock button, which is going to sort this and show the most recent one, add the most recent one at the top. And that's how I'm going to find the right one, which also reminds me that when we came in here, we didn't rename the email. We should totally do that to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Okay, so I am going to come in here, click on the video element again, and right here, I'm going to paste the link for the video. And if I wanted to include a thumbnail for it, I would totally add a thumbnail right here also. So interestingly, it did not pick up the thumbnail itself, but it's all right. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to just find a thumbnail. Let's say my video thumbnail was this one or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making it up as we go. Let's say this was a thumbnail. I would totally just do that. And if I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, I would. And then am I able to change am I able to make it centered? I'm not able to make it centered. So I might not change the size of this because then it is keeping it centered. Yeah, this medium play button is like the button for playing this video. And that's fine. Okay, so that's one way of including a video. I don't really like this thumbnail. It's a little stretched, but you get the picture. You would have a pretty looking thumbnail, I'm sure, for your video, and you'd include that. Okay, so right here is where you will basically say, join my community. So right here for join my community, you would basically go to Facebook and you would just grab the link of your community and paste it here. Where are you pasting it? You're going to paste it where it says link URL on the right. So I'm just going to type it in. HTTPS. It is facebook.com/groups/wealthy startups. Okay. So that's it. Right. It's beautiful. All right. So one other thing I'm going to change is this section, these two sections at the bottom. I'm going to change them to my brand colors. So if I'm selecting this, it is going to select this on the left. I'm able to see the color over here. If you want to make it pink, a lot of mine are either pink or black. So based on, what you want to display, you totally can change this one also to black. Okay, so that's it, right? Like everything looks branded. If you didn't like something, you could totally change that. One other thing I like doing is in my email, especially the very first template that I customize, I want to update my social icons over here by clicking on this bar over here and including all the ones that I want and excluding any ones that I don't want. So Google Plus, we don't really use, so I'm going to delete that. Pinterest, we don't really use, I'm going to delete that. Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're not big on Twitter either right now. So I'm going to remove that. I am going to include LinkedIn. And I am also going to include YouTube. Okay, so you will basically include all of the links here, right? So I would go to my YouTube channel and I would grab my link of my YouTube channel. and I would come in here and paste it. Then I would go back, I would go to Facebook, same thing. I would go to Facebook, grab the link, drop it here, so on and so forth, right? So you do that for each one. And let me show you this cool little thing over here. You want to, once you have created this, you want to click on this little save button. What this is going to do is it's going to save this section, just this section by itself also under elements over here. And what that does is it allows you to be able to access this later on for other email templates. It's white on white, so you can't tell. Let me just actually come in here and change this thing to this so that you can tell. I really like that. Kind of like this. Okay. So I'm going to use this one, right? So let's say this is the one. I'm going to click on save over here. So what this is doing is it's saving it under the saved items over here. And you can also rename it if you want. So for us, this is test because I haven't populated all of them, all of the links. So I just want to call this one test. And I'm going to call this one test too. So I don't want the team to get confused. Actually, I could just delete this one. I'm not using this for anything. Okay, so just like that, you're able to then have this available later on. So you don't have to constantly be having to update the links or anything for your social media accounts if you have different templates that you're creating for sending out emails and things like that. So you'll just set it one time and that's it, right? You don't have to do it over and over. And how do you include this later on if you ever want to utilize this element or any other element that you may have saved as a favorite? How do you want to pick it up later on? You basically, instead of clicking on the plus button here, you're going to click on this little disk, which is the saved items button, and you will just grab it and you'll just drag it and drop it wherever you want. So just like that, I'm able to just drop it over here. So everything on this email builder is drag and drop. You have all different kinds of elements available over here. You can do image, you can do button, you can do logo, you can do a footer, all different things over here. You can also do custom layouts also. So if I grab this custom layout over here and drag and drop it over here, this is what it's going to do. It's going to include by default one that has some heading and subheading on the left and a button on the left and an image element on the right. But if I didn't want that, let's say if I wanted something like this, I could also click over here while this is still selected. So this one will have 2 columns, 2 images, 2 headlines, and 2 buttons, right? So based on what I need, I can just add a layout and work with that. If I wanted this type of layout, I could just toggle over to that. Or this type of layout where it's an image at the top and a button over here. And then if I like mostly everything, but if I want to change something, if I didn't like, let's say, one of the elements or something like that, I could still click on it and customize that. So for example, if I didn't want this button to be left aligned and I wanted it to be center aligned, I could totally do that. Let's say if I liked all of this, but I really wanted the button to be like this one, I could actually just come in here and I could just duplicate this button and I could just drag this button. Once I hover my mouse over this element, these little dots show up on the left. That means now it's clickable and it can be moved. And I could just do that and come in here and delete this old one, right? So totally up to you how you want to customize it. Very, very easy to do. Since we don't really need this section, I'm just gonna highlight this and click on it and just hit the little trash can to delete it. But just like that, we're able to save this template. Let's just rename this one. I'm going to call this one test journal delivery, something like that, right? And in here, you can also tell your story if you want. Anything else you want to include in here, you totally can. Okay, so I'm going to just hit save template over here. Now we are going to go back to our automation that we had started building. And we are going to add this email template to that automation. Okay, so I'm going to click on this little clock over here so that the most recent automation that we're currently working with is over here. I'm going to click on this. And from here, in the last step, we are going to, instead of writing an email over here, we're going to click on templates. And I am going to search for the word test journal delivery. Apparently I did another one too. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one. So it's going to show me a little preview of this. And if I'm good with it, if I'm happy with it, I'll just save action. If I still want to edit this, I can just click on edit button and it'll open that same template and it'll let me edit this further before sending it. So just like that, we're done, right? So I'm going to just hit save on here. One thing I like doing with all of these templates is I like previewing them because then I'm able to tell how they're going to look on a desktop, how they're going to look on a tablet, how they're going to look on a mobile. So if there are any changes or anything I want to make, I totally can. There's a little element over here that's showing that something's not showing up. We can just go in here and see what that is. There's something here. Let's just go ahead and delete that. So I'm going to click on edit over here, right here. It's this element. We don't need it. I'm going to just delete it. That's it. All done, right? So just like that, we have created an email, branded it for our logo, our colors. You also have the ability to change the font styles and things like that. So anywhere you see any text, you can just click on it, highlight it, and then you can change the font style, size, color. If you ever need to include a link, a hyperlink or something like that, you could hyperlink a word as well. You could also do bulleted lists and a whole bunch of other things over here. So it's just like a regular text editor at that point, and you can just use it. Okay, so I'm going to X out of this real quick. So just like that, we are done. And again, I'm going to come in here and to the email, I'm going to say test journal delivery template, right? So just leaving myself a little audit trail over here, what we're doing. And once I'm happy, I'm just going to click on the publish button instead of keeping it in draft. So now if someone submits this form, this automation is going to run. It's going to tag them with this test journal SOT tag. So I'm able to tell who are all the people who requested this journal. It's going to send me an email internally to let me know who picked up the journal. Then it's going to send them an email letting them know how to download it. That download button. Ooh, did we forget to program the download button? All right, let's go do that. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so we're going to click on here. We're going to go back to edit. See, that's why we do this live. So if we forget a step or something, we can go back. Okay, so the download button, we never programmed this thing. So the link for the download button, it needs to take them to the URL of the file that you want them to download, right? The PDF file of this journal where they can download this. So how can we find that? We can find that in the media library again. So we are going to X out of this and we are going to go back to, click on back to workflows. And on the left, we are going to go to media storage. And I had saved it under this test folder, the PDF of the journal. This test journal PDF is saved here. I'm going to click on the three dots over here and I'm going to click on get link and go back to my, I could just go back to marketing emails, or I could have gone to automation, either one. I'm just going to go to templates. It's going to update it in that same place. And I'm going to click on the little clock over here, going to this email that we created. And I am going to add this button, this link for this button. I'm going to just paste it over here. One other thing I like doing is I also like adding the link to the image if there's a related image, because sometimes people click on the image itself and not the button. So you want this to also take them to the same PDF journal. So I'm going to just redirection link optional. So I'm just going to add the PDF link there also. So either or will take them there. Sound good? I am going to save this template and we should be good to go after that. And just like that, we have set up an automation, customized an email, added that email to the automation, and life will be good. When somebody goes to that landing page, now they will receive, they'll have the ability to download the lead magnet on the very next page. In addition to that, it's also going to send them an email with the button to download the free resource. And in the same email, we're also inviting them to join our Facebook group. So it's all done in the same automation. And you're also getting notified and they're also getting tagged in the system. So I know we covered a lot, but the good thing is that this is all captured and the replay will be available inside the community here. And if you have any questions as you're going through it, please comment on the video. If you can tag me in it, that will help me out tremendously, because I sometimes miss notifications if I'm not actively looking at something. So if you tag me, then I most definitely will get your question. And I hope that this was helpful today. I'm going to stop sharing. So what I am doing every Thursday and Friday inside my OneTech VIP community, I am doing live trainings where you are able to come to a Zoom workshop with me and ask me questions as you build your funnels, as you build your automations. I'm going to be focusing on opt-in funnels and delivery automations for the next 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 more weeks now. We started last week. So if you want to join me live and do these workshops with me and really get your opt-in funnels done and your lead magnets out to people and start building your list, right now is the best time to join OneTech. So how you can do that is by going to onetechcoach.com and you can sign up. You are able to join me for these workshops for free. But if you already use GoHighLevel either through a different agency or as GoHighLevel directly, and you would still like my training, send me a DM and I can send you a link where you can register just to come to the live trainings with me on this topic. And you'll also get all the replays and all of that as well. So if you just need the training, it's $47. But if you want to come join the platform, the software, which is an all-in-one platform, for $97 a month, you could do that. And then you get to come to the training for free. So either or, whatever meets your needs, fits your budget and your needs, please do that. And I really hope that these trainings are helpful for you. And I want to just create more of these so that we are simplifying tech together, because I really want you to launch your programs, make money, and create the positive impact that you're born to make. And this is my small way of helping you out in that. We are going to cover another topic. I'm going to do Facebook automations. So what that's going to do is basically if someone comments a specific keyword or a number on your posts, then you want to send them a DM with a link to go to your landing page to grab a free resource. So if that is something you want to learn how to do, I'm going to use OneTech for that. It's a feature that ManyChat also offers. The process is very similar, but I'm not going to use ManyChat for this. I'm going to use OneTech for it. So that's another reason to join OneTech, because all of these things can be done on the same platform and you don't have to subscribe to all different platforms to be able to do it. I hope that you also have a super awesome, super productive week ahead. May peace and blessings be with you. I love you all. Bye.